Okay, let's go back to yesterday. There was some economic news reported. Private sector, ADP, reported jobs in this latest reporting period would be mediocre. In the neighborhood of 150,000 new jobs created. The New York Times had a story yesterday. Hopes of Trump bump for U.S. economy shrink as growth forecasts fade. And the story began this way. The promise of faster economic growth has become a study in the triumph of hope over experience. While the June jobs report coming tomorrow is expected to show hiring continued at a healthy pace, other indicators like consumer spending, construction, auto sales have been decidedly less robust. So suddenly, a good jobs report is no longer meaningful, as it was but meaningless job reports during the Obama administration. They were hailed and heralded. Remember all of the drive-by articles that talked about how the economy was going to shrink under Obama? Nah, they told us the new normal was anemic economic growth because the U.S. had a party in previous years we didn't deserve. The United States was now finding out what life is like for the rest of the world, and this is the only thing that's fair. So as the Obama economy was anemic, the New York Times heralded it as a new reality. But yesterday, hopes of Trump bump for U.S. economy shrink, and the Dow Jones Industrial Average dropped about 155 points yesterday. Skip forward to this morning. The numbers were released, and they're strong numbers. Job creation across the board, one of the best reports seen in years. Each sector is expanding in jobs. The labor force participation rate, that has improved to its best since the 1980s. Labor force participation rate calculates all of those in the workforce who are not working. It has nothing to do with the unemployment number. Wages are going up. 222 million jobs added. Experts said 150 million would be added. Unemployment rate 4.4%. The market surged today on these numbers. The U6 numbers are good. That means people are in jobs that are not just part-time. The economy is continuing to expand and grow. It has not been reported on CNN. It's been barely mentioned in the New York Times, which, again, yesterday tried to prepare everybody for a downer economic report by claiming that the Trump bump for the U.S. economy forecast shrinks. And yet today we got a Trump bump, larger than any of the experts predicted. Ladies and gentlemen, nothing ticks off progressives like real progress. A long, hot summer for the left just got hotter. 222,000 jobs in June. Unemployment rate, 4.4%. Labor force participation rate. An all-time good records, well, not all-time, since the 1980s. And here's the sad reality for the Democrats. For the Democrat Party to be great again, for the Democrat Party to experience political growth, people have to suffer. And you can't build a winning, vibrant, effervescent political movement based on people suffering. But that's what the Democrats need in order to. They need more people out of work. They need more people without health care. They need more people without insurance. They need more people in pain, economic in other words. They need more people incapable of helping themselves. They need more people demanding that government do something, anything for them. The Democrat Party can only thrive as it is currently constituted when people are suffering. And people have to suffer for the Democrat Party to be great again. How would you like to be a Democrat and a member of that party? Imagine the positive impact on the economy and the American people if the Republican-controlled Congress would simply do what they were elected to do. Imagine incentivizing free markets with tax cuts and the repeal of Obamacare. Imagine. But guess what? Pat Toomey, Senator Pennsylvania, had a town hall meeting. You know what he said? The reason why the Senate is paralyzed is because we didn't expect Trump to win. So we didn't have any plans. We weren't preparing to implement anything because we didn't expect Trump to win. Now, wait a minute. Even if you didn't expect Trump to win, are you telling me that after 7 years of promising to repeal Obamacare, you still had nothing on paper that you could advance, even if you thought it would be defeated because you weren't going to control the Senate, you weren't going to have the White House? Politically, for your own voters, didn't you have something that you could present that shows you were going to repeal it if you had the chance? But they didn't even have that. And now it's gotten so bad. Folks, it has gotten so bad. The Washington Post headline, McConnell says GOP must shore up Obamacare insurance markets if the Senate bill dies. McConnell is saying that if things don't get better, I'm going to have to start making deals with Democrats. Well, if that's the case, Chuck Schumer is not going to allow one word to be changed in Obamacare. What do you mean work with Democrats? I think he's kind of trying to threaten his own caucus with this. They didn't expect Trump to win. Okay, Trump did win. That was 6 months ago. Why can't you get in gear here? Well, I can answer that too. Not only did they not expect Trump to win, many of them didn't really want him to. And after he did, many of them didn't really want him to succeed because they're first and foremost members of the Washington political class. And the Washington political class is who loses if Trump wins. And so Trump wins the election, but, oh, my God, we don't want his agenda. Oh, that's the worst thing can happen. So even if Trump wins, and they have no plans, they didn't expect that, they haven't really gotten in gear to try to further any Trump agenda because they may not really be in favor of it. Now, there are two sides to every coin, and there's an aspect of this that also needs to be said, and that is the Trump administration itself holds some blame or some responsibility for this. I think members of the Trump administration, maybe Trump himself, were waiting too much for Congress to do something to help further his agenda rather than grabbing it by the reins and just taking everybody with him. Meaning there was a little deference from the Trump administration, and I'm sure it was the interest of party unity. I'm sure that what Trump did was to try to develop and further unity within the party and so forth. But there's some blame that can go all around here. Trump has to have a little bit of it. Some of his administration has to have some of it. But this is, you look at these economic numbers, you look at the elements of the Trump agenda that he can control, that he has implemented, like this vast reduction of regulations. It's profound, by the way. Found a story that details just exactly how many regulations have already been eliminated. It's stunning. I'll get to it if I have time in the program today, but if I don't, just don't doubt me. The Trump travel ban, even that's gone to the wayside now. Those two federal judges, one in Seattle, one in Washington, one in Hawaii, who originally stayed the Trump travel ban and the second Trump travel ban. The Hawaii judge was just asked to stay the Trump travel ban the Supreme Court okayed. And the Hawaii judge said, nope, I'm finished. I'm through. They did their duty. The opposition did their duty, but now the Supreme Court has spoken on this, and they're out of there. The worm is turning. In fact, I think I'm going to make that the cover headline of the next issue of the Limbaugh letter. The worm is turning, and the media doesn't see it. The media is still stuck trying to prove that Trump was illegitimately elected with the help of the steely-eyed Vladimir Putin. But just stop and think of the positive impact on the economy, the American people, if, along with Trump, the Republican-controlled Congress were actually moving forward on tax reform, actually moving forward on repealing and doing whatever with the American healthcare system, restoring it to some sense of sanity. That's how you make America great again. And that's also how you defeat the left. That's how you defeat the media. It's how you defeat the Democrat Party. By moving your agenda and showing the American people what can happen when the left loses. And that's exactly, and I'm going to tell you, folks, I'm going to go out on a limb. And I see some of these wacko things the feminazis are doing, like this Linda Sarsour joining forces with Islamic Jihad and claiming that feminist opposition to Trump is jihad. She's trying to forge an alliance with militant Islamic terrorists. There's another story in the stack today about how women simply can't find guys to marry. They can't find enough guys in college. They can't find guys that are equally educated because men have been, over the years, subliminally told to get the hell out of college because all they do there is rape women, and all they're going to find is women's studies. The bottom line of this is that women can't find guys to marry, can't find guys to have relationships with because guys their age are still living at home in their pajamas in the basement playing video games. It's the one place they don't get hassled. And I'm here to tell you, I hope this happens in my lifetime because I know it's going to happen. And not just with feminists. The global warming, all these young kids who believe in climate change, and all of these young millennials and others who believe in feminism and the American left, they're going to wake up one day. I think the worm is turning at such a degree, they are going to realize at some point, not too distant from now, I mean, it's not tomorrow, it's not next year, they're going to realize how they've been misrepresented, how they've been lied to. It's going to be a stunning realization, a wake-up call. They are going to figure out. It's going to become abundantly clear, they will not be able to avoid it, how they've been lied to about practically every aspect of liberalism, from feminism to climate change, to global warming, environmentalism, all of these things they hold dear that are near religious in their devotion, they are going to realize so much of what they believe is just total BS. I have hoped that would happen in the last 30 years, but it's to the point now where things on the left are disintegrating. They don't know it yet. Don't misunderstand. We're way ahead of the curve here. This is what being on the cutting edge societal evolution. I know Rush, I don't know what you're watching. I turn on TV. It looks like the left is winning every day. I know it does, but they're not, folks. There is no news. Everything is fake. Everything's fraud. There is no news in the mainstream media.